Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to teach you how to do a DIY mason jar tissue holder, my version. We're going to use a quart size wide mouth mason jar. I only could find the one for $1.97 at Walmart. We're going to use some chalky finished Krylon paint in white. I got this on sale at Hobby Lobby, 40% off coupon. Now you're supposed to use these tissues, and if you notice they're 8 inches by 6 inches and they come in a 4-pack, but they don't have them by me. The closest was the Target about 100 miles from my house, and they were $5.99. For $5.99 you get 4 packs. The tissues are, you get basically 200 tissues for $6. Or we're going to use these cubes from the Dollar Tree. Now the cubes are cheaper at Walmart, but I just want to show you how you could get it at the Dollar Tree because they're easy there. And you get 80 tissues in that cube as opposed to just you get 80 tissues for a dollar, 100 cents. You get 80 tissues for a dollar as opposed to 200 tissues for $6, okay? So we're just going to have to work on it a little bit more. I actually was inspired by a different life hack that I saw on another thing that I'll share with you, but when I saw this, I was like, yes, we totally can do that. We're just peeling the label off of the mason jar. So like I was saying, the only quart-size wide mouth mason jar available to me, other than to go to Hobby Lobby, was $1.97 in the craft section at Walmart. My Walmart is redoing its shelves and everything, so it didn't have the cases of wide mouth mason jars. But when I went to go online to order one, I could have ordered 12 mason jars for $12, which probably would be what I would do in the future. But it's definitely cheaper. You can get them $1 a piece, and you can do other things with them. But the wide mouth mason jars and the quart size is sort of what makes this important, I guess. You can do the small mouth mason jars, but only if you use the other tissues. To use the cube tissues, you definitely need the wide mouth, all right, in my opinion. So now I'm just taking a little rubbing alcohol to get the sticker off. You can use Gooby Gone, you can use heat, you could soak it. There's lots of different ways. This one is just what I use. It's available to me, and they're always sitting right there. Now we're just going to take off the lid and go spray paint it, and unfortunately all of the footage of me spray painting it disappeared, except for the very end of it sitting there drying. But I just used that chalky finish spray paint. I did just put on one coat. We've spray painted lots of things on the channel, guys, so you know you want to keep your can 12 inches away. You want to do a light coat, but a thorough coat. If you I had such problems that day with the wind blowing. It was amazing that I got anything done, I have to just say. So I'm just showing you here that the tissues, the regular standard tissues that come in the cube, I've opened the cube up. The regular standard tissues that come in the cube are too tall. So what I had seen on a life hack was to cut the tissues. The life hack that I saw was actually to cut the tissues in half and fit them into a cute little cubie that you can keep on your desk, like the little cube gift boxes that they have at the Dollar Tree. But I was like, well, genius, why don't we just cut down the tissues going into the mason jar? Otherwise it's the exact same. So what I've done is I've taken them all out. I've taken the mason jar, laid it down next to the tissues just to get the perfect size, or you could just measure 6 inches like the original tissues are. And then we went ahead and we just sliced them. I'm using my my utility knife here, but to be honest with you, you don't have to. You could use your scissor, you could use your kitchen shears, anything that you want to cut these tissues down. And I know that sounds so silly. Why would you cut down tissues? But hey, listen, to save money. The big thing is, like I originally was thinking, you could just do this with the box of regular standard tissues. But if you do, then you really can't put many more than 80 tissues in the jar, because then it makes it difficult. As you'll see when I start to pull them out, if you stuff the jar too full, it just makes it snug and then the tissues start to tear. So this cubie has 80 or 70 tissues in it, and that would really be the limit. Of course, depending on the 1-ply tissues, 2-ply tissues. I mean, you guys get it. You've been around, right? So I'm just going repetitively back and forth with my craft knife. Now, one thing I did make a mistake, and I will tell you guys, it's a mistake. I actually held the knife down on the part that I was cutting off, and that was dumb. I should have turned it around and put the knife down, the blade holding down the tissues I was going to keep. Because if your blade is not sharp and it shreds some of the tissues, it will shred the ones that you're going to discard or put off to the side, not the ones that are going in the jar. Okay? Again, not only for price wise, but these tissues were not available to me. I wanted to make sure that I let you guys know how to get them, basically how to have this jar if the tissues aren't available to you, plus economically. Now what I'm showing you here, and I left this in for you guys to see, I like to share with you the things that I try to see if they don't work. This particular box of tissues, I tried to cut out the plastic window. I thought that that would be perfect. But the plastic window, the cardboard opening for the plastic window was bigger than the mason jar. So it would have just been cut plastic, and that won't work. Okay, so I wanted to just show that. I left it in there so you guys could see, in case you ever were like, why didn't you just cut out that plastic thing? Whatever, that's why. All right, so what we're just going to do is we're going to cut out a piece of the tissue box. Now, keep this in mind when you're buying your tissue box. This is what we're going to see on the top. You could always turn it over and have it be like craft paper colored, or you could just get a tissue box that you really don't mind the pattern. Or third option is you can cover it with craft paper of your liking. But that circle that's on the top is what we're going to see. It's what the tissues are going to come out of. So definitely use that to match your decor or the decor of the person you're gifting this to. Okay. Now I have this really cute blue box. This is actually is a gift for Emily. It doesn't show up as turquoisey as it is in real life on this video, but it's a little bit more turquoisey blue, and that's the blue that's in her bedroom, and her master bathroom. So I wanted to go ahead and make that for her. But as you can see how easy it is to go ahead and just cut out any kind of tissue box cover that you like, or cardboard, or like I said, heavy duty craft cardstock. Cover it with craft paper. Now here's one more thing that I do different than the normal instructions, is we do make an X in the middle of the round cardboard part. But I like to take my scissors and I just like to make a tiny cut next to where I've cut. So basically, instead of just slicing the X open, I've cut away some of the material, so it's actually like a little bit of a wider X. Okay, and I like that because I feel like it eases the tissues out a little. It makes the tissues come out a little easier, but still separates them one at a time. So getting it started, of course, you want to go ahead and feed that first tissue in. The tissue that's in the inside of the wrapped up area, that's the tissue that you want to feed through. Okay, and then just pull through. Now, like I told you earlier, 80 tissues is just the maximum amount that will fit in this jar and easily come up. Anything more than that and they will just tear apart. Okay, so I'm just showing you here. You pull out a few. They are cut on the bottom, but you really don't notice them unless you pulled out like 5 or 6 at a time. So a lot of these DIYs that you find on Pinterest or you can find on the Etsy shops have the Cricut cut bless you on them, or they may say bless this home, or whatever kind of, because playing on the bless you part when someone sneezes. But I couldn't find a mason jar that didn't have a embossed all 4 sides. All 4 sides on this mason jar are embossed, so I couldn't really put a sticker or a label on it cleanly. So what I thought I would just do was, since it's a bowl jar, I just enhanced the B from bowl, and I kind of turned the A and the L into an L and an E and an S and an S. It isn't my favorite work, but it is well appreciated by the receiver. And then I added the word you. So I wanted to play off the word ball and then add the word you. Had I thought about it or planned it ahead of time, I probably would have put the word you in different font just to make it a little bit more of that country. That farmhouse feel is sort of like you do like the straight line prints with this script. combinations always look really cute as well. So all I've done is I've taken the regular size Sharpie and I've gone over all the letters. Added basically the L, the E, the S, and the S. I just sort of, it goes over it. It's bumpy. It's not the neatest, but I really still did like the way it came out. And then I just wrote U in script, my regular handwriting. I purposefully didn't try to match this font from the bowl. I just wanted it to be a little different. But I should have actually, in hindsight, printed it. That would have looked really cute. And now I'm just going back with my ultrafine Sharpie and I'm filling in, so some of the, my Sharpie is old, so it was kind of wide, and some of the letters went on the top of the embossed letters, and some of the ink went around it and underneath it. And I was just taking my thin Sharpie, my ultrafine Sharpie, to fill in basically, you know, if the line looked too thin, I just went in with the ultrafine Sharpie and thickened it up. Problem was, because this is chalk paint, I had to constantly take my marker and just clean it off using, like, just, you know, scribble it on a piece of paper to clean the chalk out of the felt tip, so I can keep going back and filling in a little bit more each at a time. Okay. And but there are stickers there. If you have a Cricut, that'd be really cute. There is ways to put the Cricut stickers over the embossing, and we'll get to that when we get the Cricut tutorials up and going. But for right now, we just went ahead and we wrote it, and that's it. I really think it's super cute. And honestly, look at the options. You could paint it any color that you want or you want to give. You can also paint any color to match the tissue box top. You can pick any tissue box top that you want. It's really very, very versatile. So after your last minute touch-ups, when you finally get the letters the way you want, and this is why they don't have to be so perfect, is because now we're going to antique this a little bit. We're going to take just this 8,000-year-old piece of sandpaper that I've had and I've used for every project. I can hear my father saying, okay, it's time to throw that piece of sandpaper out. But I like it because it's not very, very rough on the grit. And I'm just going over all of the letter tops on the word Mason, on the side edges, and then I'm adding the wear toward the corners at the top. Like, imagine if you were holding it or moving it, or holding it while you're pulling a tissue out and moving it over the years, where it would wear. Okay? Yeah, I said where it will wear. Okay. And that's it. Just dust it off. I don't wash it off. I just dust it off. You could also add wax to this if you want to make it. You can also spray it with a finish if you want to make it safer. But that's it. So I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial, my version of this tissue holder. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share with friends and family, anybody who might be interested in learning any of these techniques. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye. Don't forget to stop by the vlog channel and say hi.